What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So I gave you guys some free winners yesterday. Overall picture for the VIP was almost 8 units yesterday. So 2 days ago was almost 10 units. Yesterday was almost 8 units. Just in the last 2 days, about 18 units. A lot of these I gave away for free. If you go to the link in the description and click on free picks, I send out an alert yesterday, the day before yesterday, and 2 days ago. In those messages that I'm sending there, there's been about like 8 units in the last couple of days. So make sure you take advantage of that. Go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Also, make sure to subscribe. Now, make sure you stay tuned to this video. I'm going to walk through one team that everybody's talking about. I mean, nobody thought they were going to win yesterday. They ended up winning, which was the Mets. I'm going to tell you why you should be staying away from that team. A lot of people are talking about that game today, so just be careful with that. I'm going to show you the pitfalls for that game. In this video, I'm going to give you guys one strong play for baseball. It's a very strong team. It's actually two teams. I'm going to be going on the under. It's probably one of the best plays on the board for today. I'm also going to show you the process on how I run my batter props for the one hits. So there's a list of batters that are already super filtered out from hundreds of batters. It only has a few. And then I'm going to show you how even that filtered system, how I look at that system and pick and choose which ones I want to go with. I'm not sure if I'm even going to go with any of them, but I'll tell you why I'm going with them or why not. So I'm going to run through those in this video. Make sure to subscribe, guys. And then this is one of the plays that I gave away on the free picks. If I did not make a video explaining this one, I actually just throw it out in the free picks. So make sure to go to the link in the description, click on free picks. So basically what this is I'm going to show you, I sent out this message last night. So I'm going to show you what this is that it's a line movement parlay. And like I said, I've given away 3 of them so far in the last couple of days. And if you were taking those into free picks, you would have gotten at least 8 units already. So basically I get a text alert and I was already looking at all the entire slate. So when I'm looking at this, I get this alert and it was telling me right before the game started that Philadelphia had moved 42 cents from a minus 192 to a minus 233. The Athletics were going against Boston. They had beat them the night before, so I was already paying attention to that. And the line actually shifted from underdog to way less underdog. You can see right there went 32 cents. And then Milwaukee, there were some things I didn't like about the game, but the line continued to move right before game time. So I took these as a 3-leg parlay. As you can see, the Milwaukee Brewers, they did a walk-off single and they ended up winning the game. Phillies and then the Athletics, I actually put a little bit of extra juice right there with a plus 2.5. So that means they could have lost the game as long as they didn't lose by 3. They actually even ended up winning the game. They even ended up winning the game 4-3. So I didn't even need to be at the plus 2.5. And they ended up beating Boston again 2 days in a row. So anyways, this was an easy parlay that hit. And the Brewers actually was the only little bit of a sweat. Again, guys, you would have got that for free if you go to the link in the description where it says free picks. This is the play that I gave away on yesterday's video. I said take the Phillies on the first 5 innings, and then I take the Brewers. Like I showed you, the Brewers actually did a walk-off single, so that came through for us also. And then and the VIP, I took the Phillies at a -1, so you can see they won the game by 1 run. So this was a push. It doesn't count as a win or a loss. We had the Brewers and the Twins under 1.5 runs, and then we had the Giants and the Tigers under 1.5 runs. I took this one live, so you can see the odds are pretty dramatic right there. So I put up 1.1 units to make 0.4 units. And I'm willing to do stuff like this because it was live and everything was looking good for these teams to win already. The Rays were literally like on the bottom of the 9th when I took this bet. This is one of the players that I showed on my screen yesterday in the Yankees and Braves on the under. I actually gave this one away on yesterday's video also. And then under stolen bases. So this was one of the 2 that did hit. So again, guys, almost a perfect day. We did have one guy that stole the base, which broke the parlay. And then Shohei Ohtani did not get a hit. Other than that, it was a 7-2 day, a great day overall. So the first thing I like to look at is here's the best and worst teams. So you can see the hit rate for upsets, meaning the underdogs winning right now is 43.9. The highest win percentage right now is Boston. Even though they lost the last 2 games, they have been winning a lot more than they've been losing. So you can see the Boston Red Sox are still number 1. The Rays are number 2. The Cubs are number 3. The Braves are number 4. And the Padres are number 5. I'm not going to get into this, but if you go to the 3rd link in the description, you'll see this page for free. And you'll be able to auto refresh this every morning, and you get the same information on the top best teams versus the worst teams. Now, the thing that this is very important, I normally don't talk about this, but if you hover over Y, these teams are winning or why these teams are losing, it gives you a lot of information. So for example, if I was looking at the batters to get a hit or whatever, or maybe the bullpen, a little bit of questionable on the bullpen, you can see the Cubs, they do have a bullpen that sucks. So bullpen has coughed up the lead 3 of 14 games. Bats are silent, meaning that the bats, even though they're winning games, the bats have been weak. So these are the type of things that I normally don't talk about, but it's very good to have this information. And like I said, it's free. So go check that out. These are the best teams right now. On the flip side of that, you have the worst teams. You got the Athletics. They've been straight trash, even though they've won the last 2 games. They're only hitting at a 23% hit rate, even with winning the last 2 games. You got the Angels are horrible. Dodgers are pretty bad right now. Pirates are bad as well. And then the Mariners. Now, the reason this is actually so very important is obviously you want to know which ones are the top teams, which ones are the worst teams. This is based on the last 14 days. But then this is where it becomes actionable. You go and look at this and you say, okay, the Rockies are number 22. They're going against the Diamondbacks, number 8. The Rays are number 2. They're going against the Athletics. So I'm going to definitely take a look at the Rays. And then we got the Astros versus the Giants. Astros are number 7 versus number 21. So you can take a look right in the middle right here, and it tells you the gap. So the gap is 14 right here. The mismatch is 28, and then there's a gap of 14. Obviously, you want to do your own research, but this gives you a lot of information and a good starting point on which team sucks, which teams are good, which teams to stay away from, and the notable matchups. Now, again, one of the plays that came up is the Mets. You can see the today's sharp plays. If you want access to this tool, it's 7 days for free. It's called the Sharp Edge. Again, right now it's showing that it's a nuclear play, 8.5 confidence. I don't always take everything that shows up here, but this is one clear signal that I take a look at. So the other one I was mentioning is the Texas Rangers and the Angels. This one I am actually taking, and I'm going to tell you why. This one I'm skipping, and I'm also going to tell you why. But it literally breaks down the reasoning why it thinks that this thing should be winning. I'm not going to read this. You can take a screenshot if you want. These are the 2 plays that are showing up as nuclear and strong for today. Once we have all that information, we start looking at the sharp line monitor. And what this is literally just tracking what's happening with the sharp line. So you can see the Mets started at an underdog at a 132. They're currently at a 129. And it actually tells you it's going in the opposite direction over here. And then it kind of starts going back down again. If you don't know how to read line movements, I'm going to show you how this tool actually doesn't matter if you know how to read it or not. But it's good to have if you know how to read this. Now, if you don't know how to read these line movements, if you go to the bottom of the same page called the Sharp Line Monitor, and that's actually the same thing that I showed you that I got the text alert, it comes directly from this snapshot. From this snapshot, it's tracking it every hour, and it's saying this is what's happening. So for example, right here, it's saying the Diamondbacks, it's saying that it moved 26 cents. The Phillies as underdogs, as a plus 1.5, they're moved 14 cents. The Angels went from, they're moving 8 cents, okay? Now, obviously, I just showed you the Angels are the 4th worst team right now. So this actually works in our favor because we're looking on the under, so they're not scoring a lot. But in this case right here, I'm not going to be even looking at it because they do suck. And you can take a glance at it, but I just don't waste my time. What I'm trying to show you with this snapshot here is that if you don't know how to read line moves, you come to the bottom of this page and it refreshes every hour, and you'll be able to see what's happening, what the books are doing, and why they're adjusting and stuff like that. This is very super important to take a look at least once per day. Now, if we look at the best pitching mismatches right now, Skubal is playing for the Dodgers today. I don't like this game at all. I'm skipping this game. But then we got Milwaukee over here with Henderson. He's got the edge. And then Scott over here with the Mets also has the edge over Elder. So this is not a huge edge. This one is. And the only one out of all 3 of these that I do like is Henderson. Now, just like I promised, I'm going to walk through this extremely fast, okay? So basically, the Mets came up as a play, like I just showed you. It says it's a 8.5 confidence. I don't have that much confidence in this. There's many, many reasons. Number one is that the pitching, the bullpen is just trash for the Mets. You can see the grade level over here is a C+, a B, and a C compared to a B. Also, Atlanta leads 10 out of the 12 categories. Over here, it does say that it's a massive handle divergence for the Mets. That's the reason this is showing up as a strong play. Now, the other reason too is they're saying that Elder, which is the Braves pitcher, is actually due for regression, meaning that his numbers are not going to be standing up compared from the FIP to the ERA. Also, Atlanta has a very strong bullpen compared to the Mets. A few other notes why I'm staying away from this. You can see the Braves at home are 9-0. I'm not touching that. Also, on top of this, it does say the Atlanta Braves should be scoring more than the Mets over here. Besides all that, the starting pitchers are B plus and a B minus. So this dude is no bum. And I already showed you they have very strong bats and very strong pitching as well. The bullpen is also much stronger for the Braves. So the only one real big thing is that the Braves did win yesterday. I think they won like 13-1 or something crazy. I'm not going to go and try to look up the score. You can go and look it up yourself. But they did win by like more than 10 runs. And I think that's why this thing is being pushed so much. On top of that, they have a huge advantage on the OPS, meaning on-base percentage. So they do have some logic on why this should be winning, but I'm not touching this game at all. The play I do want to give you guys is the Rangers and the Angels on the under 8.5. So you can read this if you want or take a screenshot. It is saying 4 out of 5 things. All 4 models project the average of 7.95. So that is below the 8.5. Both starters have a FIP of 4.0. What that means is that they don't allow a lot of runs and they are very decent pitchers. The bullpen is also very good for both teams. Now, if we look at the market from DraftKings directly, it is saying that the Texas Rangers should only be scoring under 4.5 runs, meaning 4. And these guys should be scoring over 3.5 runs, which is 4. So if we did the math, both of those together is 8, which is under the 8.5. Now, what we're looking at here is for very strong pitching, and you can see they are very strong pitching. 3.78, 3.49, 4.55 ERA, 4.12. What matters here is the FIP, which is a 3.49 and a 3.78. We're also looking for strong bullpen, which is strong, 3.07 and 3.73. Now, in the last 3, the Angels have been sucking, so that does not help us, but that kind of makes up for it over here with the bullpen in the last 3. Is 1.09 on the bullpen numbers. On the flip side of that, we want very strong defense, what I just showed you, and then we want weak offense, okay, because we're looking on the under. So if we look at the OPS, meaning on-base percentage, the Texas Rangers are number 17 and the Angels are number 27. What this means is that both teams are struggling to get on base, and that's what helps us get on the under. So that's the play, guys. Under 8.5 for the Texas Rangers and the Angels. Let me walk through the batter props, and then we'll go from there. One last thing I'll talk about is on that game for the Angels and the Rangers. I'm not going to go try to explain all of this right now, but this is the batter versus pitcher. And what this does, it gives you all the numbers on how well each one of these batters are hitting against this pitcher. So one thing that does suck for us in this case is that against this pitcher specifically, all of these guys have strong numbers. 4.44, 2.86. 3.33, and then, well, not all the guys. There's some of them that do suck, like a 1.43, a 0, and a 1.43. So these are actually not strong numbers. And then on this side is even worse. You got 1.25, 100, 200, 0, and things like that. On top of that, we're looking at these numbers. OPS is number 5, and OPS is number 19 against left-handed pitching. And these guys are pretty bad against left-handed. These guys are pretty good against left-handed pitching. These guys are pretty bad against left-handed pitching. So these numbers don't stand out to me as something ridiculous, something that we need to stay away from. It's just always something to take a look at to see how well these teams are hitting against these batters. Or I'm sorry, how well these batters are hitting against these pitchers. All right, guys, finally, I'm going to go through these. There are not a lot of them. We got Carson Bench. And what we're looking at here is for them to get 1 hit. Like I mentioned, this goes through a lot of filters. So out of hundreds of batters today, actually, I don't think there's that many. But normally when it's a large slate, it is over 100 batters. So I always say 100 batters. But it is a lot of batters. And what this does is it super filters it out completely exactly how I like it. And then it shows me which players I should be looking at. So in this case today, it says Carson Bench from the Mets to be getting 1 hit. You can see all his numbers are very strong right here. These little green dots means how many hits he's gotten in the last couple of days. However, he does suck on the road. He's got a 0% hit rate on the road. So that is not something good. Against this pitcher, he's got three at-bats and 1 hit, which is a .500. Because he sucks on the road, I'm skipping this one. Otherwise, all of this is looking good. Francisco Lindor, he kind of sucks on the road over here, but is not as bad as the other one. He's got 15 at-bats, 6 hits, a 4.29, and you can see his graphs over here. 1 hit, 2 hits, 2 hits, 1 hit, 2 hits, 1 hit, 1 hit, 1 hit. So this dude is pretty solid at getting 1 hits, and he has a very decent batter versus pitcher data down here. So Francisco Lindor, I am going to take to get 1 hit, even though the risk is on the road, he kind of sucks at a 0.215. Jacob Wilson from the Athletics is decent. Also, you can see decent on the road. Pretty good hits over here. One thing I don't like is that closer to the last 4 games, he did miss 2 games without getting a hit. On top of that, the Athletics do suck, which means that they don't get on. They don't even get the plate appearances that they need. You can see this guy overall, he's only come up to the bat 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, 4 times, 3 times, and 4 times. So he's actually batting less on average than other batters in the league. But overall numbers do look solid. I do like this one. I'm going to take Jacob Wilson to get 1 hit. Last one, guys, is Freddie Freeman. This dude got a hit for us yesterday. You can see right there, he did get a hit for us yesterday. However, he was parlayed with Shohei Ohtani, and that's the one that lost for us yesterday because these are heavily juiced odds. Today, I don't like him so much because he's going against Noah Cameron. Plate appearances is 2, and he's got 0 hits. So he's got a batting average of 0. So I don't like this. That's why this is showing up BVP cold, meaning batter versus pitcher is cold. 2 at-bats, 0 hits. So I'm skipping Freddie Freeman. I am taking Jacob Wilson. And I am taking a risk on Francisco Lindor to get 1 hit. All right, guys, man, we've been doing very, very solid. It's about 19 units in the last 2 days. Do not snooze on the VIP. Check out all the links in the description. Also, if you want the Sharp Edge tool that I just showed you, it's 7 days for free. Plus, you get access to the Discord as well as part of the package for 7 days for free. So you could check us out on the VIP for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, whatever. Give us a chance. Let us know. Also, check out all the pinned comments. Also, check out all the comments on all the videos that I've been doing. You can see how happy people are because we're making money. So let's have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Make sure to comment, make sure to like, and make sure to share this so that this channel can grow. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.